Well, as you've been hearing in the news, thousands of evacuees are returning home today. La Ronge, Air Ronge, and the Lac La Ronge Indian Band are all being allowed to head back. But thousands of other evacuees are still waiting, sometimes with no hints or supports. Well, our next guest says they have received little to no access to information and government supports. Shyla Evans had to leave their home in Creighton late last month. Shyla's currently in Melfort, and that's where she joins us live right now. Good afternoon, Shyla.
Good afternoon.
I saw earlier you had your cat with you, right? So you really had to pick up the whole family and leave.
We have two cats with us.
Two cats. What has this experience been like?
Well, we're up about 3 o'clock in the morning because they're a little bit stir crazy in the middle of the night. But we're just really thankful to have somewhere to stay. It's been quite the procedure, all of this. This is our third place already. We've had to move on a couple times.
Walk us through that, Shyla, if you don't mind. So you're evacuated. Where did you go first? And tell us about going to three different places.
We all got evacuated. There was about 45 minutes notice. So we all got evacuated from Flin Flon to the Paw because that was the only safe way out. Once we got to the Paw, we had family there on my husband's side that we stayed with. But when we were there, we had 7 cats all together and 2 dogs, 1 bathroom, and all the relatives. So that was a tall order. And, it was lovely that they let us stay. But we wanted to be closer to an airport because my husband has to fly out for work. So we decided to come this way down the gravel road. We stayed in Tisdale for a couple of days, but they were booked solid. So everyone from Flin Flon only got a couple days there. And then we had to move to Melfort. And the hotel here has been amazing. They're going to let us stay until the 20th. They've been very kind and welcoming. And this is really the first place that's been a home for just the 4 of us. So we're very thankful to be here.
What kind of supports have you been getting, if any?
We are lucky enough to have gotten support from our house insurance. That is all. Other than that, we are paying out of our own pocket from the money we saved for retirement. We were hoping to retire in a few years, but I think it might take a little longer now.
So
So
tell us about that. I know you've reached out to the Red Cross and the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency. How has that gone?
it has not gone well. Um, no one that I know from Creighton has received any funding at all from either the SPSA or the Red Cross. And it's kind of ironic because today in Melfort, they are announcing all day that there is a Saskatchewan Red Cross fundraiser for the victims of the Saskatchewan evacuation. And my aunt from Creighton was told that she had to get funding through the SPSA. She wound up in Swan River. And when she phoned the SPSA, they told her that she has to go to one of 4 places in Saskatchewan to be able to receive funding. But we wound up in provinces from Saskatchewan to Manitoba to Ontario. There are even some of us in Niagara Falls right now. So we're all over the place. And a lot of people that I know wound up sleeping in their vehicles with their pets because you would go to the next community and it was already full. So it was a lot.
What,
We're
what
lucky.
Sorry to interrupt, Shyla. What kind of things? I mean, you've been doing this for 2 weeks now, so some of it might be a little too late. But what are
Yeah.
some of the things you've needed over the past 2 weeks?
Well, we needed, because we're in our hotel and we're trying to save money, we needed groceries. Because we have 2 cats, we don't want the cleaning people to be in and out and have the cats run away. So we bought cleaning supplies. We even bought a little vacuum just so we can kind of be self contained. I mean, we've spent thousands of dollars on things like that so far between groceries and supplies that we got left behind. And a lot of the people that had to take the gravel road, they wound up with vehicle problems. My parents broke the axle in their car. They got a flat tire in their truck. My husband's truck wasn't going to make it any further than here, so we had to actually get a new vehicle, a pre-owned vehicle as well. So a few expenses we weren't expecting. But like I say, the community here has been wonderful. There's a different charity at our hotel every night, feeding us supper, bringing people clothing or things to help. They're wonderful people. But what they don't understand is that the funds that they're donating aren't reaching our community at all. So I hope that some of the Saskatchewan fire evacuees have benefited from that. And as for the money that Scott Moe is offering, it's wonderful. But I mean, to pay for a hotel room costs on average, what, $200 a night, most places. And then by the time you get food in there and gas, I mean, that's not going to go very far. I don't think he understands. We could potentially be at least another 2 weeks. So we'll have been away for a month. I had a friend who tried to file for unemployment insurance, and because she can't get a record of employment from back home, she can't do that either. So there are some people from Creighton that have no money at all other than what they came with.
Shyla, is this at all because you're in Melfort, or are there any
It's
supports
not
set up?
because we're in Melfort. This
Yeah.
is people all over in all of the different provinces that are from our community in Saskatchewan. The residents from Flin Flon, they seem to be getting some help from the Red Cross. My parents got help from the Red Cross, but no one that I know from our town of Creighton has received any help from either the Saskatchewan Red Cross or the SPSA. No one. My friend is going to the ombudsman because she's been trying to call for days and sitting on the phone for hours on end, crying. People are very frustrated and afraid, and we feel alone and ignored.
Well, you're not the only ones, obviously, because we heard from the ombudsman on Tuesday, and then the day later we heard from the premier. What do you make of that whole situation?
You know, it's complicated with our communities because we are two communities in one that are in two different provinces. So I understand everyone is doing their best. And Flin Flon's never evacuated in my lifetime, and that's over 50 years. So I understand they want to keep us safe and everyone's doing their best. But I don't think either the Red Cross or the SPSA was prepared. And there are people in some really dire situations that I've talked to, and it's like I say, my husband and I are lucky. We're spending our savings and we have money from our insurance, but not even every house insurance is giving a per diem. So there are some people with no money at all except what they came with.
Shyla, we only have about a minute before we get kicked off by the news. Do you know anything about back home? Like, is your home okay?
We have a security camera. Our home is fine. The air quality there is excellent. It's a one. They're letting people in to Jan Lake, which is a resort community that's only 42 miles from our home. And the people that we know in the fire department from back home are saying there are no threats of immediate fire within Creighton. Nothing in the community has burned. Like, obviously, Denier Beach was hit very, very
Right.
hard, and they had a very small fire department. And we did our best to help them, but that fire moves so fast. I mean, personally, we've lost one cabin on one side of the family, and our other one is actually at risk today. But we're glad to be together. We're glad to have our homes. But people from Creighton need help from someone. We're fine, but there are so many people I know that are scared and worried and don't know what they're going to do. My friend went all the way to Winnipeg, and her entire family is kicked out of their place on Friday.
Wow.
She has a daughter who just had surgery, her mother who doesn't get around very well, and her daughters and their pets. And as of Friday, they have nowhere to stay.
Shyla, we're going to have to leave it at that. We only got 10 seconds left, but thank you so much for sharing your story. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.